Why isn't the world covered in poo? Slow version. Somewhere near you, an animal is defecating. In fact, each day, the animal kingdom produces roughly enough dung to match the volume of water pouring over the Victoria Falls. So why isn't the planet covered in the stuff? You can thank the humble dung beetle for eating up the excess. Capable of bearing 250 times their body weight in a single night, these valiant insects make quick work of an endless stream of feces. Over 7,000 known species of dung beetles run cleanup duty across 6 continents, everywhere except Antarctica. A dung beetle's first task is to locate dung. Some live on the animal regions of large animals, ready to live off when they defecate. Others sniff out feces that animals leave behind. A pile of elephant's dung can attract 4,000 beetles in 50 minutes. So once a beetle finds a dung, it must very quickly to secure some of the value for itself. Most dung beetle species fall into the three main groups: rollers, tunnelers, and dwellers. Dung rollers scoop a ball of dung and using their back legs, quickly rolling away from competitors. Attention partners jump on the ball, and once the ball maker has selected their mate, the pair dig their dung ball into the soil. Once it's been buried, the female lays a single egg within the dung ball. Tunnelers have a different approach. Digging underneath a path, some drag dung down into the soil and pack it into clumps known as brood balls, dung balls, or dung sausages, depends on their shape and size. Male tunnelers sport a spectacular array of holes to find each other for control over these tunnels, which they then defend until females lay her egg. Some male tunnelers avoid the prey by masquerading as hornless females and sneaking into tunnels to mate while the gardener heads are turned. The third group of dung beetles, dwellers, take the most straightforward approach, laying their eggs directly into a dung pad. This makes their offspring more vulnerable to predation and those of tunnelers and rollers. As the larvae feed, they riddle the dung pad with tunnels, leaving remains that are quickly colonized by bacteria and fungi and withered away. Inside a tunnel, ball, or pad, once the larvae hatch, they consume the dung before metamorphosing into a pupa and then other beetles. Besides clearing dung, the actions of these beetles have considerable ecological importance. For one, they serve as secondary seed dispersers. Dung from monkeys, wild pigs, and other animals is riddled with seed from the fruits they ate. When beetles bury their dung balls, they inadvertently protect these seeds from predators and increase the likelihood they'll generate. The advantage is so great. The one South Africa plant has evolved to produce seed that looks and smells like dung to trick beetles into burying them. Dung beetles also play an important role in agricultural systems. Livestock, cows and sheep produce a huge amount of dung, which contain nutrients that can benefit planets. The beetles break up the dung and tunnel it deep into the soil, bring the nutrient into the close contact with the plant roots. Their services to farmers has been valued at $380 million a year in the US and 367 million pounds a year in the UK. Dung beetle can even help us battle global warming by reducing greenhouse gas emissions associated with farming. Microbes living in oxygen-poor livestock dung produce methane, a potent greenhouse gas. But beetles oxygenate its path when they tunnel into them, preventing the microbes from producing methane. The dung beetle spreads seeds, helps farmers, and fight climate change, and complicates at all simply by doing its business. Maybe next time you come across some dung in the forest or the field, you will be tempted to take a closer look. If you want to learn more about the major purpose cooper, we highly recommend Animal Weapons. Want more with normal speed. Somewhere near you, an animal is defecating. In fact, each day, the animal kingdom produces roughly enough dung to match the volume of water pouring over the Victoria Falls. So why is the planet covered in the stuff? You can thank the humble dung beetle for eating up the excess. Capable of bearing 250 times their body weight in a single night, these valiant insects make quick work of an endless stream of feces. Over 7,000 known species of dung beetle run cleanup duty across the 6 continents, everywhere except Antarctica. A dung beetle's first task is to locate dung. Some live on the animal regions of large animals, ready to live off their defecated. Others snap up the feces the animal leave behind. A pile of elephant's dung can attract 4,000 beetles in the 15 minutes. So once a beetle finds dung, it must work quickly to secure some of the volunteer for itself. Most dung beetle species fall into one of 3 main groups: rollers, tunnelers, and dwellers. Dung rollers scoop a ball of dung and using their back legs quickly rolling away from competitors. Potential partners jump on the ball, and once the ball maker has selected their mate, they dig their dung ball into the soil. Once it's buried, the female lays a single egg within the dung ball. Tunnelers have a different approach, digging underneath the path some direct dung into the soil, and pack it into the clumps known as brood balls, dung balls, or dung sausages, depends on their shape and size. Male tunnelers sport a spectacular array of horns. They fight each other to control these tunnelers, which they then defend until the female lays her egg. Some male tunnelers avoid the threats by masquerading as hornless females and sneaking into tunnels to mate while their guardians' heads are turned. The third group of dung beetles, dwellers, take the most straightforward approach, laying their eggs directly into the dung pad. These make offspring more vulnerable to predation than those of tunnelers and rollers. As the larvae feed, they litter the dung pad with tunnels, leaving remains that are quickly colonized by bacteria and fungi and withered away. Inside the tunnel bowl or pad, once the larvae hatch, they can consume the dung before metamorphosing into a pupa and then adult beetle. Besides clearing dung, the actions of beetles have a considerable economic importance. For one, they serve as secondary seed dispersers. Dung from monkeys, wild pigs, and other animals is riddled with the seed from the fruits they eat. When beetles bury their dung bowl, they inadvertently protect these seeds from predators and increase the likelihood they germinate. The advantage is so great that 1,000 apica plant has evolved to produce seeds that look and smell like dung, to trick the beetles into burying them. Dung beetles also play an important role in agricultural systems. Livestock like a cow or sheep produce huge amounts of dung which contains nutrients that can benefit plants. The beetle breaks up the dung and tunnel it deep into the soil, bring the nutrients into the close contact with the plant roots. Their service of farmers has been valued at $380 million a year in the US and £367 million a year in the UK. Dung beetle can even help us better global warming by reducing greenhouse gas emissions associated with farming. Microbes living in oxygen-poor livestock dung produce methane, a potent greenhouse gas. But beetle oxygenates path when it tunnels into them, preventing the microbes from producing methane. The dung beetle spreads seeds, helps farmers, and fight climate change, and accomplishes it all simply by doing its business. Maybe next time you come across some dung in a forest or a field, you will be tempted to take a closer look.